We have one more case in this chapter, so let's see if how much more information we can get. The procedure. A bizarre operation ends in bloodshed. Okay, looking kind of grim here. He's got injured, and on the wall here, interesting, yes, they have the idle, increase, decrease, which is obviously in like the idle terminology is like if you decrease something, you decrease the thing on the outside, but you put it inside the idle, right? So it is taking things in, and then the increase is take it out, right? So yeah, we have this device here, enlightened meter 3000. Yes, this is the heat, and this is a new symbol that wasn't in the original game. Crystal powered technology. And some sort of like those ink tests. This woman here, I can't believe it, we were so close. Picture of a cat. Lost. Mittens had endless affection for everyone. What happened to Mittens? Do we have to name Mittens? No, it's just a name to confuse us maybe. Or maybe it's in the story. Maybe something to do with why Mittens is missing. Okay, 1 year in Harmony Foundation. Dear Dedicant Hall, I am delighted to inform you that you have been chosen to take part in the Harmony Foundation's first ever New Dawn procedure. Please bring this letter, which includes an agenda of relief, to the retreat center on Friday, April 15. For accurate readings, you should also bring a photograph of someone you love. Okay, that's why she got a cat picture. On it, write a brief message about them. Blessings always. And this is agenda. Okay, arrival, commencement address, levels reading, elimination process, replenishment process, levels reading, gratitude meditation, departure. Okay, so this is still back when the Harmony Foundation was doing the experiments based on like trying to bring the idol power back. This guy also Harmony Foundation, he's new. A funeral program from Neil Remington. Dad taught me the importance of standing up for family. Okay, so that's his dad, Remington. So this guy might be called Remington, but Neil is not here. Neil is dead. And she's Hall because she had the letter addressed to Hall. There is Myson, Pinnacle Security, so that might be one of them. His card fell off. These three hackers can't never just come quietly, can they? You're right, Bruce. He's got some sort of device, taser. Morning orders, meet Mr. Spender and his colleague Marie at 7 Sweet Pea Drive at 9:20. And bring tasers, but only for self-defense. Before removing occupants, explain our hands-off approach to the new guy. Ensure all property remains inside the building and belongs to OPIG. Okay, so this is the time where they send people to be like, okay, Harmony Foundation, you're done. It's OPIG now. He's Billy Greer. Okay, so we want to get that in. And the other guy, that means he's gonna be Mason. We just have to get him added to the board. That's all on him. No, he's also got that deployed static array. He's also got a radio. Him, I'll survive. I guess that's pretty good a little thing for little Miss Daisy Chain, eh? Copy police. So they get the other parts of the message. So this is copy something, police something, and he's got copy that, police deployed. Yeah. So they're sending police. So his name, now that we have him, is Myson, his surname. So something was here. So they were trying to take over, and clearly the attack happened here. He got cut with the crystal. We've got My Delight of Empathy, Dispel the Dark Force. So this is the Harmony Foundation. Okay, we've got more things happening here. So this is, yeah, the historian lady, and this is the OPIG people. Maybe this will change your mind. Click. Okay, so she thinks she's got the idol working, but it's not working. Or maybe it was working, she just didn't have the instructions right. Level readings. Enlightened meter works best when subject focusing on loved one and what they mean to them. Phases 1 are to complete when all subjects... See, this is like heat levels are 0 and all something levels are 100, i.e. enlightenment. Enlightenment makes your functioning well, readings as expected. Okay, so this is like the symbols that appear based on values. So we have me, Sam, Alex, Charlie, start levels. So that will be something. My mentor was the wisest man I've ever known. So that's her picture for like when she was thinking about someone important to her, a red pen. I don't know what that is or what you expected to do, but nothing changed, Tessa. It's over. Pack your bags. We're terminating this project. Yeah, it's Tessa. Right, she's got it set to increase heat. I'm pretty sure it has to be increased matter heat to set people on fire, assuming it's even working. And I told you she's a quack. I bet none of the junk in here works. God knows what we're going to do with it all. She's also got a plan. There, Dr. Westlake, as per your request, here's my assessment of Madame Navari and her Harmony Foundation. Simply put, Miss Navari is an incompetent practitioner of false history and pseudoscience. She claims, for instance, that the longer one follows her teachings, the more enlightened they become. But how does she measure this? With a device that provides no quantifiable data. I believe she simply sees this machine's reading whenever she expects to, based on her above claim. Stay skeptical, Jim Horney, founder, the Reason Institute. Okay, so it's like 5 equals 5 equals 80. He's right, this is nonsense. I guess it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. How is it 5, right? Is it nonsense, or are we gonna have to try and figure out how it's actually not nonsense? Universalism 101, the fundamental forces, okay, justice, order, empathy, injustice, justice, chaos, hatred, okay, so she might be linking those symbols into some of those things here then. So like she wants everyone's empathy to be at 100, for example, and hatred at 0, which would kind of explain, because the hippies were holding like, they were holding symbols that was like, not this, right, those was crossed out for the what we know on the idol, that was heat, and yes, this, which would be like empathy or something. Okay, there's more things, yes. Each day here brings us closer to enlightenment. There's this lady. What does it matter why she let them in or why they're doing this? Just send help. Okay, so she's 6 months in Harmony Foundation. My uncle, always the life of the party. Okay, so that's her family. Dear Deacon Robinson. Okay, so she's Robinson. And of course she is Tessa Navari. I didn't put it in yet. She is Westlake, because we know that already. But we don't have her first name yet. Yeah, okay, there, Derek and Robinson, I'm delighted to inform you that you have been chosen to take part in Harmony Foundation First New Dawn procedure. Yes, that's the same thing as the guy upstairs. And the same agenda. So she was also undergoing this test. Okay, because we have the names of the people that were part of the test. So we have Sam, Alex, Charlie. So I guess it might be Sam or Alex, right? Because those are unisex names. Because Charlie is definitely not unisex. And there is a Pinnacle Security card. Tim Spender, manager, speculative investment. Yes, so he's Tim Spender. We know that already. Oh no, we have Mary Westlake. I just moved her about before because I was trying to organize some things. Okay, so we have Bruce, Alex, Charlie, Sam. So we know Sam, Alex, and Charlie are the people that were doing the test, which means Bruce is probably the other security guard then. Because those are the people we know are not here. Because Neil is like the head of OPIG or whatever, and Mittens is the cat. Now we have staff here. Universal 1 or 2, the key powers exercise sheet. Connect each power to your counterpart. Each power has only one counterpart, so you only need 3 lines. So we have illuminate, replenish, purify, contaminate, obscure. So replenish, eliminate, purify, contaminate, and illuminate and obscure. I assume the links. There's a bin with some paper. Commencement address, first draft. Make intro more impactful, needs to grab their attention. Welcome, dedicants. Since the dawn of time, various fundamental forces have been at war in the universe. Those we colloquially call the light and the dark have also fought inside every individual. Today, within each of us, the light will finally seize victory. We will all become enlightened. Too dramatic? Take another stab at this section. Okay, so we're just collecting more and more wards. We can't go outside, so we're just missing a spot somewhere. Oh, the phone. There's messages. Peace and blessings, madame. Please allow me to bring someone along to this historic event. The person I have in mind is practically consumed with hatred. No one needs this more. I beg you to give them a shot. Okay, and the other message. Thank you, madame. We both look forward to seeing you very soon. Okay, so someone wanted to bring someone else to get their hatred reduced. This thing is like, that's the hatred and that's the, what would they say? Hatred and empathy symbols, and that's the readings on this guy, probably. Oh yes, can I see? Oh, she had it, right? So I need to copy the values. So basically she's here saying that her levels are like, her hatred is 5, but her empathy is 95. And then this Alex guy is consumed by hatred and little empathy. But yes, so those readings. This is 2080, so this is supposed to be Charlie, based on the book thing. But yes, even just like within this book, she's got 95 empathy here that she scored herself, right? But this is exactly the same symbol and it's 80. So yeah, she's just, and yeah, this is 45, this is 20, this is 5, 55, 80, right? So it's all the same thing, and yet she somehow reads it as a different value. But the only thing is like this shape here is fairly unique for that node, where it's like this 20, she named this 20 and 80, so whoever was hooked up to that is Charlie, maybe. Okay, so yes, according to this person, what do those symbols mean, right? This isn't about what it actually meant in the game, on the actual idol. This is what she thinks it means. So I think this is supposed to be empathy, or yeah, there's empathy here, and then hatred on the other side. I mean, it could be obviously any of those. I'm just trying to like think, you know, if the hippies don't show it and whatever, like what makes the most sense, you know. And here on the messages as well, it says this person is consumed with hatred, right? Which would mean they're trying to remove the hatred and replace it with empathy. So this is the hatred, this is the empathy, right? Because that's what they want. And they say no to this, which is the hatred. But then it's still increase and decrease, or like replenish and eliminate, I guess, which would be similar things. So replenish and eliminate. So what she's trying to cast on them, she's saying this thing and the hatred. So actually they might be switched. Yes. So, okay. So she thinks this is eliminate and this is replenish, which is you know, in the normal idol force was like increase, decrease. Oh yeah, because she has I was like, oh, in the idol that was correct, right? But this is saying it's going to the person's head, which I'm pretty sure that's the reverse, right? It's decrease something on the outside, it means it goes to the idol, but they are reading this as it's replenishing it in the person, and this is eliminating it from the person. Got that? Names, we're still missing names. Well, she's been here 1 year, so I guess this is the guy that's been here, that's been brought here, right? So if we're saying it's the Charlie person that's full of hatred, then this is Charlie, because that would be his measurements if he's full of hatred. And then we have Sam and Alex. We know she's Hall. Okay, he says you'll write Bruce, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, we already have Bruce here. Yeah, I guess that freaks a little thing for little Miss Daisy Jane, which I think they mean this person here. But yeah, how does that help us with the names? So if she believes that the longer you follow her, the more enlightened you are, and therefore, you know, like your empathy is stronger, that would imply that Sam has been here longer, right? And Alex and Charlie. Oh no, wait, because I'm reading it wrong again. Alex is the person full of hatred, and Charlie is the person full of empathy, according to her. So it's Alex who's full of hatred. Actually, they're all unisex names. I said, oh, it's not, but no, I'm pretty sure Charlie is also a unisex name. But yes, then she's like, depending on how long you follow me, right? So she's here 6 months, and this woman is here 1 year. So if we go by this, if we look in these notes, she herself is 95, because she's obviously, I'm the most enlightened. Then we have Charlie, 80. So Charlie's been here for 1 year, if we say it's this woman. And then we have Sam at 45, so it would be this person. Yeah, okay. Got there in the end with some additional obstacles. Okay, so we got that. And then we have the events. So we have Tessa Navari and some of her dedicants were at the Harmony Foundation for a ceremony, or that the procedure. Sure. The aim was to first eliminate hatred and then replenish empathy, resulting in enlightenment. However, they were interrupted by people who wanted to seize everything at the Harmony Foundation, right? In the large room downstairs, who is she? Sam Robinson, called... No, that's not because it says large room downstairs. Are we talking this room or this room? Okay, if it's this room, I guess this is downstairs. So if we're talking about this room, then it's not Sam. In the ranch room downstairs, someone, something, someone. So we're saying someone got tased and then someone else got... So like he got tased, but he's already tied up. Why would you tase him? But yes, because someone got like slashed with the crystal, right? Him, Bruce Mason got like slashed with the crystal. So in response, like Charlie, or did Charlie did it? Charlie Hall stabbed Bruce Mason with a crystal. Because of that, something with us. So yeah, what happens? Because they come in here, try to do whatever seizing of things. This crystal thing. Oh no, okay, so this is where it happens. She slashes him here because that's where the card falls. The crystal rolls away here and he goes here. But then there is like footprints with blood going here to the stable, like then footprints going here. I was like, this guy is restrained, right? So he's like not very with it. I mean, he got a head injury and he's got cables coming out of him, but they're, oh no, that's the taser cables, right? I was like, oh, was he connected to the machine? No, that's taser. So he got tased, even though he's restrained. So what? One of the guards tased him. Like, do we get to see which one it was? Ah, okay. So his taser still has the bits in it, but this guy's taser is discharged. So Billy Greer did the tasing. So was this first or after? I guess there's no tased, so could be here. Billy Greer shot Alex Remington with a taser. Because that happened, like, again, why they tasing him? He's restrained. Unless they restrained him after they tased him. So what is this first thing? In the large room downstairs. So like they eliminate, illuminate, replenish, purify. Those are all like words for the symbols. So maybe grabbed. Oh, so maybe it's like, because that's what they're talking about, right? The three hackers can never just come out quietly. Are you right? I guess that freak's got a thing for Little Miss Daisy Chain, right? So if they grab this woman and then like, you know, things kick off. Because yeah, she's wearing 2 flip-flops and there's just 1 flip-flop here and she's got 1 flip-flop, which means she was here. That's what was happening. So one of them, like Bruce Mason, he grabbed Sam Robinson. In response, Charlie Hall stabbed Bruce Mason? No, maybe it wasn't Charlie Hall, right? It was Alex Remington. Yeah. Stabbed Bruce Mason with a crystal, then Billy Greer shot Alex Remington with a taser. That makes sense. Then we have motive. Which 3 clues are needed in order to deduce Alex's motive for protecting Sam? That's like they've really picked up on new things you can do with the filling in, right? It's no more just awards and matching pictures to names, which I mean that was fine too. Like I wasn't entirely complaining about this, but they're doing more things like, you know, mark the path of the object. You know, what does that mean? Like how would you figure this out? So yes, the game is going a bit more experimental, maybe. That's a description for it. Okay, but yes, what does it mean? Which 3 clues are needed in order to deduce Alex's motive for protecting Sam? Now, there was the things on the machine that said, I want to bring someone with me to the thing. So it's possible that Sam brought him here, like they came together. This is like a picture of her family. My uncle is the life of the party. Are they? Oh, I can see also that her hand is red, so that explains. Okay, so Neil Remington is his dad, but she's like that's not her name. Like she's Robinson. Like this feels somehow important. Like the specific dates, you know, 50th birthday. There's something on TV. Like what is this all about? Which 3 clues are needed in order to deduce Alex's motive for protecting Sam? It doesn't feel like the Can I change the position of the things? No. It doesn't feel like the tasers, right? Mittens, the cat, is to do with this woman, and her name is Charlie Hall, and I don't think she's anything to do with it. So there's something to do with his father, which it says, Dad told me the importance of standing up for family. Okay, so I think that might be part of it. Dad told me the importance of standing up for family, which means they are related. So this picture of the family she has, that's also it. Like, is this? I'm thinking maybe that's it. Maybe because she's saying my uncle always left to the party. Like, could this be Neil Remington? Obviously, he dies when he's like 75, and this is like, you know, not as old of a person, but that's when he's 50. So obviously he would have further aged. Like, that's his most recent picture. So he's like, importance of family. This is the, you know, that's her uncle, his father, so they're cousins. And then one of the other things. Not the cat, not the tasers, not the idol. The crystals, they're just there. I'm not sure. And my delight of empathy dispelled the dark force. Closer to enlightenment. But he's just joined. Like, he's not yet in on the messages, right? But it says that his, you know, his hatred is high, his empathy is low. But obviously those symbols are just like, who knows? Because actually his hatred symbol is the same as two of the other people. It's because it's the same. That's him. That's Alex, right? That's Alex, and it says his hatred is 80 and Sam is 55 and Hare's is only 5. But this is all the same thing. So you can't say like he's got a high hatred, so that's what he would do, because he clearly doesn't, if this is anything to go by anyway. And then him and Sam's empathy are also kind of just the same thing. So yeah, not sure this has anything to do with it. There's the police radio, like the security guy's radio that says the police is coming. This is to do with Tessa's mentor, the historian. This is the readings, the crystal. Like, that's not to do with the motive. 6 months, 1 year. Well, she's been here for 6 months, but what is that to do with it? Like, the tasers, like, he gets only tased after he protects her, so it's not the reason he protects her, like, it's not part of his motive to protect her because he gets tased later. That makes no sense. Unless it's like based on, you know, he sees this message and he's like, I want to be enlightened and stuff like that. No, it's not that. Like, it makes no sense. Did she actually make him more empathetic with the idol? No. I mean, this is the thing that Sam's been here 6 months. No. So, weird thing is like here, well, they're having this 50th birthday party. They are also watching a TV thing about a comet of some sort or something. And here in this picture, there is a comet as well. And this is the date, like 22nd of June, 1950. It's 1975 now? So that means this picture is taken 22nd of June, 1950. And then he was born 22nd of June, 1900, which means 22nd of June, 1950. That makes him 50. So the picture that she has, like, this is not that guy, obviously. While his birthday and the way his first birthdays were happening, she was with this mentor, so that's nothing to do with him. But that just lets us date that picture specifically and connect it to this guy's birthday, so that we can, you know, I guess that's a better way to confirm that this guy is that other guy, instead of just being like, oh, it kind of looks like him. Right? But does that mean it is this picture? Because, not because she and her mentor are important, but because it makes the confirmation that this is this guy's birthday and therefore he is the same person? Okay, well, that was a bit roundabout, right? Because this picture is not really needed to, like, you could have taken those 2 pictures and probably, you know, enough information. That was enough information for me. But I guess that's like super duper confirms that that was the date and that was the birthday, even though plenty people have the same birthday. Before the enlightenment process could begin, OPIG officials arrived, backed up by hired goons, to kick everyone out of the building and confiscate everything inside. One of the officers got heavy-handed with a female follower, so her cousin stabbed him before being tasered and restrained. Meanwhile, Tessa and Navari tried in vain to rid the OPIG officials of hatred, believing that would make them change their minds about evicting her. Yes. She thought she made the idol. She did not. This would never work the way she imagined, but some of the speeches seem legitimate. Interesting. Important. Yes, the pieces, they are some of the original symbols. This one is new. This one did not appear in the first game. Even the wildest myths are usually grounded in some fact, I suppose. Yes, the crystal is important because that's what makes it work. Oriel to Sun. Parts not even connected. Okay, yes, definitely didn't work. She just dumped the parts inside of the statue. Looks like she made Gabriel's classic translation error replenish eliminate. Hate was a reasonable guess. Poetically, this symbol is linked to a fiery passion. Yes, this means heat, not hate. Curious to find out what this might mean. Yes, we don't know. It wasn't in the previous game. This was wrong because this was increase and this was decrease. Because, again, of that whole thing with things go inside the idol and outside the idol. And we've got this phone, dynamic growth, empathy, T-Lake. Of course I want you back. Nathan said I could hire an independent consultant and it was your incredible insight that got me here. Wait, is this, what's his face? Eugene Marmot being like, he wants someone back, even though he's no good, like he's terrible. So yeah, the emotion studies is the terminated project, right? Because that was the historian thing. Corn-based solutions. So yeah, is this, because I'm like confused whether what he's saying on the phone is there, like this is further, like, you know, what is this about? How is he got Westlake out and now he's the guy in charge? Like, how did this happen? Because yeah, that means I probably have this charge wrong, right? She's no longer the lab lead. He is. So I get, like, he's still president. I think that's fine. Head of investment, I think that makes sense. But yes, she's no longer there and he became the laboratory lead. How did that possibly happen? But then he was also talking to like the Enlightenment people, right? So they, like, she went back to being research engineer and he's research assistant. And who is this then? Because he says, Nathan said I could hire an independent consultant and it was your incredible insight that got me here, right? Which he was talking to the empathy people after they got kicked out. No, this is all a mess. So he's still president, Nathan Hoyle. The head of speculative investment, Tim Spender, which, you know, Spender, and he's dealing with money and investment. July 12th, following mid-year inspections. What date was this? Not this. The other one. So this inspection was June 18. So the chart is July 12. They changed things afterwards. Yeah, Mary and Tim stopped bickering so we can talk budget. So this is afterwards. After that inspection, this guy ends up higher up the chain that he was and hires a consultant. Like, I thought it was this guy, but I'm like, his hair is not quite as ginger as it is in this picture, but that might just be coloring issue. I mean, he was definitely the history consultant, right? That's his specialization here. I mean, this project is terminated, but she was the contractor for the emotion studies, so that might be what I got wrong as well. So he is the lead now because he made the machine work and they were like, well, clearly he knows what he's doing even though he's a disaster. But then, yeah, is she still part of the team? Because obviously, like, he's the security guy. He's not gonna be a researcher. He's a researcher though. Like, he does chemistry and stuff. And this is the neighbor as well. Again, he's not the neighbor. Who is this? Because yeah, I thought he was in here. No, he is. Yeah, it is his neighbor. So he's not gonna be part of this organization either. So yes, him and him are out. So does he hire her as a consultant? No. So let's start clean because clearly things have changed after the inspection. Nathan is still in charge because, like, Nathan says I could hire someone, right? So he's not likely to have been changed post that. And I think it still makes sense that Tim Spender is head of investment. Like, they wouldn't put him in investment, right? But then that would mean, like, yes, he can hire an independent consultant. So he would have to be in this position. Like, how did that happen? I have no idea because they're just like, oh yeah, the guy who, you know, set himself on fire, he sounds like he should be the lead. The emotion, I mean, yes, she was the contractor for the emotion studies, but the project was terminated. And it feels like they wouldn't give us the sticker unless that was what they wanted us to say. I mean, obviously, red herrings are a thing, but I don't know, that feels correct. Especially this is like the updated chart, so they no longer would be keeping the people that are no longer involved on this. So though, like, he's definitely the history consultant, and those two are definitely working in the lab, right? So they're either the research engineer or research assistant. Actually, he might be the engineer because he had books on like mechanical things and chemistry, so that makes more sense that he's the engineer. And then she got demoted to assistant. But yes, just the consultant then, not those two again. No hair. She was just the organizer of the protest. But obviously, yes, incredible insight. So he hired her back. Like, she's not done with this yet, right? She's back and she's gonna be, spreading further her emotion-based studies of the idol. Okay, so that's the chart. What happened here? That is the question I have. But yes, we have the story then. So we've gotten the words from like the different forces that she thought were, what was guiding the people. But also like this something, nothing. But yes, I think this will say with something from something, someone ran this something, right? So they had the Harmony Foundation and then they turned it into OPIG Corporation. They used something to build, they built a device, right? Or are we saying no? It's like with like, do we have like money or something? Funding, yes. With funding from the OPIG Corporation, Tessa Navari, because this is before she got kicked out, ran the Harmony Foundation. They used something to build something. Like they built a device for, measuring your enlightenment. So they could, like they wanted to remove hatred. What was it called? Like, take hatred and then give empathy, and in doing so will help people reach enlightenment. However, it actually did nothing. Yeah, what did they build? They used what? Like they used parts, artefact parts to build none of those words really make sense. They used artifact parts to build something. Or they used something. Like they used stolen parts, right? Because that was what the previous chapter was about. They were stealing parts to reconstruct the idol statue. They used stolen parts to build an artifact, believing they could take hatred and then give empathy, and in doing so would help people reach enlightenment. However, it actually did nothing. So due to Tessa Navari's overspending, right? Because she was taking there too much money. She was just buying things. The Harmony Foundation building was repossessed, right? They've taken it away. Someone realized the something mice verb if were verb. Okay, because then Oriel gets a look at the device, right? This here, like he's making notes about it. That, oh yeah, this could have worked, but the parts aren't even connected. So Oriel Toussaint realized the artifact might work if it were rebuilt, like properly, not just check the parts in. So first, Mary Westlake was in charge of its testing, but something verbs and something. Mary Westlake was in charge of maybe not testing, maybe reconstruction is a better word, but she delayed testing. That might be it. Like they came for the inspection and they were like, oh, you're not testing the device, you're waiting for things. And then they saw that Eugene, he was in there hands-on testing the device. And they were like, well, we need this sort of initiative, even if it sets you on fire. Despite this, despite this, Eugene Marmot activated the new device, so was denied. What was he denied? Lab access? Oh, okay. So you're not even getting into the part like what happened, like why was Mary Westlake replaced with Eugene Marmot? Because that's gonna be in story 2. After learning about so we're getting to the part where Eugene learns about the Harmony Foundation. After learning about the Harmony Foundation, Eugene Marmot believed he had been something because the something had been set to something. However, it was actually set to something with a button. During a... Okay. Oh, we're getting into the bit where, you know, the words are just like commas, which A was by and him with that, right? You have to even figure out what is the train of thought first to start deciphering this. After learning about the Harmony Foundation, Eugene believed he had been punished because the... Is this talking about what the idle device was set to? When the ignition happens, the device is set to increase matter heat, right? Which is why he's set on fire. But according to her, this is like increase hatred. I believe he had been punished because what? The rebuilt artifact has been set to give hatred. However, is actually set to give heat. Which something, which started a fire. Yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, she's telling him this was actually about hatred, not fire. Okay, so this might be then that the Novak test he was doing through the window. During a test, we have during a testing is not correct grammar. But during the board inspection, actually, did I do this all wrong? Like during a board inspection, Eugene tried to set it to... Oh, because chronology, the protest happens before the board inspection, right? So Eugene learns about the Harmony Foundation before the board inspection, which means he's already thinking about all this stuff. So, but he hasn't been punished yet, he hasn't been demoted yet, he hasn't been set on fire yet. So I think this happens here. During a board inspection, Eugene Marmot tried to set it to give... Yeah, but he would be trying to set it to give hatred, but actually set it to give heat, which started a fire. Yeah, but what is this? After learning about the Harmony Foundation, Eugene Marmot believed something. And then something was... Nathan Hoy was impressed by Eugene Marmot's discovery and rewarded him with a promotion. Okay, so that's this chain of events. So after learning about the Harmony Foundation, Eugene Marmot believed he had been what? Is it still punished? Like what happens in that scene with the protest? So here the idol is set decrease heat, but he thinks it's set to decrease hatred. So here it says because the rebuilt artifact had been set to take hatred, I was actually set to take heat, which that throws the bird buff, right? Yes, throws a bird buff. Believed he had been what? Rewarded? No. Everything is wrong. After learning about the Harmony Foundation, Eugene Marmot believed he had been something because the rebuilt artifact had been set to something. However, it was actually set to take heat, which throws a bird buff, right? That at least makes sense in what's happening at the protest, but maybe this is all incorrect. Yeah, because during board inspection, Eugene Marmot tried to set it to give hatred, but actually set it to give heat, which started a fire. Was he trying to set it to give hatred? Or was he just incompetent? Like, I mean, he's definitely incompetent. That was established. And then, yes, Nathan Hoy was impressed by Eugene Marmot's discovery and rewarded him with a promotion. So I think that's what happened at the end. But it's just all of this voice happening here. More inspecting. So in ignition, we know Eugene does the thing. He presses increase matter heat, but it's supposed to, he thinks this is hatred. We can access this here as well. So that's what happens during this. I'll just take a screenshot of it so I don't have to be coming back here all the time. But then during the protest movement, it's set to this. So it decrease heat, right? Because that throws the bird buff. So yeah, after learning about the Harmony Foundation, Eugene Marmot believes he has been something because I still think that should say rebuilt artifact, right? Because that's what they had been set to something. However, it was actually set to take heat, which throws a bird buff. During a board inspection, Eugene Marmot tried to set it to Maybe he didn't try to say it. Why would he try to say it to give hatred? Maybe he thinks he's been given hatred because, again, the incompetence is a factor here, right? So he may have remembered that it's hatred, but he got the symbols the wrong way around. So he tried to take away hatred, right? But actually said to give heat, which started a fire. Like, that part is correct. So here, if he got it the opposite way around, so he would have said that in this case it has been said to give hatred. Not heat, hatred. But it was said to take heat. So what did he believe? I mean, punish is the only word that really works, right? Punished or rewarded, but I don't see how he would think he was rewarded. Okay. So that's what happens. So he's still very much incompetent. Like, the Tess and Avari is interpreting the idol symbols and then he's misinterpreting them on top, but because he just happened to be stupid enough to set it to give hate, he set himself on fire, which was the only visible outcome they have ever achieved with this thing. So they just went like, wow, clearly this guy knows what he's doing. And they put him in charge, which, I mean, that's a bit of a weird way to run the place, but what do I know? And that's what I will be doing with the idol next. That's going to cause all sorts of legal problems. It's totally unscientific. Where's our control group? Sounds good to me. I'm sure the universe will guide us. Excellent. Full steam ahead then. Okay, so through manipulating Eugene, she actually manages to just get her way back into this whole organization and continue her unfounded experiments based on her complete lack of understanding how any of this works. Great. And that's how people end up getting cranberry eyes. But yes, we're gonna get to it next time. So let me know in the comments what you thought about those cases and how this whole story is developing so far. If you enjoy my content, consider liking or subscribing. And I will see you soon on another adventure.